Vibe one time for your mind. Vibe one time for your mind. Vibe one time for your mind.
And we are here. We are here, and we've made it. Welcome, faithful, to the Coach's Huddle. It's me, the coach, and we are here for our weekly call-in show that we do with the faithful. And we finally have made it into week one. The New York Jets are facing the San Francisco 49ers at home Monday night to open up the San Francisco 49ers 2024-2025 season. And we have finally gotten past the offseason, guys. There is no more contract negotiations. There's no more Pope smoke on who shows up or who doesn't show up. We finally have gotten ourselves to the position where we are facing a real opponent. We can actually go against different players when it matters. And what I want to hear from the fans is I just really want to hear what your expectations are for this game. I don't want to go over the season. I feel like that's off-season talk. We're literally here in the middle of getting ready for week one. And I don't want to hear about what you feel like the team is going to do for the season. I want to talk about the Jets. We got to be where our feet are. Understand what's literally in front of us. I want to talk about preparedness, who's going to be ready to play, what players are going to be out coming into this game. Questions about Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams. Will they be paced out? Will Trent Williams play the entire game? Will Brandon Ayuk play the entire game? Is Christian McCaffrey a go for week one? There were reports that he told Larry Krueger directly that he will be ready to play in week one. Our offensive line is Jake Brindle ready to play? You know what I'm saying? Look, I'll tell you. Hey, Steve-O, you have been wilding. I've been paying attention to your digital footprint over the past couple of weeks, man. You have had a good time, sir. You've been having a real good time. You've been running around here like the Al-Qaeda of 49ers content creators. Like, you've been running around. You've been busy. You have been busy. But I basically just want to get into the show, man. And Steve-O, call in. Call in, bro. You got to get out the chat, bro. You got to call in, Steve-O. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You got to call in. Because we got to put a name with the face, and maybe not even the face, but I'd love to hear like a real like uninterrupted take from you, right? Like about how you feel about the team, how you feel about the season coming in, and that's what these call-in shows are for, right? The call-in shows are for you guys to hop in here and give your full takes. I mean, I understand that from one standpoint, it's easy to sit in the stands or to sit in the chat and hear what we have to hear what we have to say with guys with their own YouTube channels and content creators, reporters, and the like. But it is a skill. And you need it. And honestly, I like doing the call-in shows because it gives everybody an opportunity to kind of like put it on, put those shoes on for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But the link is in the description, guys, on coming in here to just talk to me about what you guys expect from the Jets. Right now, I tell you right now that the Jets, they leave a little bit more to be desired as far as I'm concerned. Right now, I think that the biggest thing that they have going for themselves right now is their defensive line. Quinnen Williams is definitely going to be a force to reckon with. Javon Kinlaw is somebody that's going to be starting. Right across from Dominic Puni, we're going to be able to see Javon Kinlaw and Dominic Puni go at it. We're definitely going to see a Colton McKivitz versus Michael Clemens matchup. I think that that's one that we should win. I'm not too impressed with Michael Clemens, especially after the way he played last year. And Colton McKivitz, I will tell you, there's been an uptick in his play from last year. He's stronger. I think that Colton McKivitz moves a lot more fluid. He's definitely more confident. I'd like to see him put it all together and see exactly what his sophomore campaign is starting at the right tackle position, how that's going to start out. And I think that he's got a likely opponent right now, especially with them attaching George over onto that right side. That's going to be a really good surprise for us to see, can we run right? Can we run right? I understand, in seasons past, it's been quite easy to see, where the 49ers bread is buttered as far as their run game is concerned, right? Trying to see, hey man, they only get a lot of traction on the left-hand side, but on the left-hand side behind Aaron Banks and Trent Williams. But if you really look at it, if we can be able to be ambidextrous in the run game, meaning that there is no side that we favor to, I think that with Colton McKivitz having more confidence, and quite honestly, I'm not here to belittle anybody, but it's a real upgrade at guard. I think that's the biggest upgrade on the team as far as players that have come into our offense, new guys, there aren't many. But you're hoping to see maybe Jacob Cowan get some love at slot. We definitely want to see maybe Braden Willis, maybe getting called up. But there's not a lot of new. I mean, Eric Saubert is a new guy that's going to be able to see a lot of time, possibly. But there's not a lot of new names to this offense. They're pretty dead set. But if you look at just the gap of improvement between Dominic Puni and John Feliciano or Spencer Burford, it's a huge gap. It's a huge gap of improvement. And I think you'll be able to see us start running the ball in a more balanced fashion. Speaking of running the ball in a more balanced fashion, I also believe that the emergence of Jordan Mason is going to be able to help out this offensive line pace some things through. So I'm gonna bring my guy in here, JLP. What's going on, brother?
How's it going, Coach?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good.
Talk to
Oh
me,
man,
man.
I'll
How you
tell you
feeling
what.
about this week coming up, bro?
I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. I want to see how our offensive line is going to do against their D line. Cause man, they got some boys up front. Quinn Williams ain't no joke, man.
No, Quentin Williams is a force.
And then Hill Kinlaw looking like he in the best shape of his life too.
I
Like,
saw that.
what is the interior going to look like? Are we going to be able to give Purdy some time in that pocket?
I think we are. One thing that I feel as though that we're going to do is we're going to engineer around Quentin Williams. I don't know if there are some of all parts or if they just got straight dogs across all four positions, right? They got two edges that'll just get after you, and a shade and a three tech that'll just wreak havoc. I don't know that yet about this team. I've seen shades of it from last year. They were the very highly ranked defense, particularly against the run. But I don't see, I haven't seen like this level of what Quentin Williams gives you replicated across the line of scrimmage on their defensive line. So if I'm Kyle, what we do is we engineer around Quentin Williams. You cannot let Quentin Williams get comfortable. You can't. If he gets a groove, if he finds a way to come off the ball at a regular tempo all the time, a guy of his stature and talent is gonna find a way to wreck the game. But what you start doing is screen game, right? We get him running east and west with outside zone, get him chasing his gap, right? Then we start trapping him, use a little bit of trap game. Then we start doubling him, right? Get him on some duo, right? Other things that you can also do. is make sure that as Quentin Williams is coming off the line of scrimmage and pass rushing, chipping him, right? Giving him a hard set, then giving him a soft set, then giving him a 45-degree set, then cutting him on 3-step drops and quick downs, right? There's a lot of different things that you can do to help Quentin Williams, to help out that offensive line, where through play calling, making him feel uncomfortable. And if you really just want proof of concept, Aaron Donald. We did it to Aaron Donald for years. We never let him get right. We never let him get comfortable. So I hope that that's what we do on Monday. I would think that's going to be the approach. I would think that's what
Do you think that the Jets are going to have Sauce Gardner just follow Ayuk all game, or do you think he's going to switch up?
I think that he will travel. I'm not necessarily too impressed with what they have in their secondary. I do think that we got to figure out, what DJ Reed is really going to give them. And then their nickel cornerback, Michael Carter II. He's another guy that he's got a high defensive grade and he's really good in coverage, but he's another run defender that is a liability in my opinion. I think that because they have guys that all play in tandem as far as their run game is concerned, I think that Sauce Gardner, I think situationally that he may travel if BA becomes like an issue, but I think they all may stay home, honestly. I think they may stay home. This defense has holes, man. Their secondary, Chuck Clark, and who's that? Tony Adams, I believe. Yeah, Tony Adams. I don't see it. I think that they're vulnerable on all facets of the game, run game, stopping the run. Their coverage grade isn't too good. And then also one thing that we don't have to worry about from them is that they don't necessarily rush. They don't really have any pass rush from their safeties or their secondary. That's something that you would think that you would see from a defense that's supposed to be ranked as high as they are. But if you remember, we didn't really get into blitzing until we moved on from Saleh. We had to get D'Amico in here before we started actually going after the quarterback with linebackers and DBs. So I do feel like in certain instances, old habits do die hard. And Robert Saleh is probably going to play us vanilla. And I think it's going to be to his detriment because they're not good enough to play as vanilla as they do, as basic as they do.
I think this should be a Kittle game. I don't think they've got anybody that can cover Kittle. I mean, honestly, he should be open all game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree as well. I think CJ Mosley is a good backer, but that's about it. I like Quincy Williams. Quincy Williams is somebody who they have that he kind of gives me D Winters vibes. Little undersized, about 220 pounds, but he can run and he can cover. That's his thing. So Quincy Williams, I wouldn't be surprised if they have Quincy Williams on George come Monday night. That would be the best. That would be the best bet. Somebody that can actually be a threat in pass coverage. But I don't know, man. Like linebackers are okay. Safety's not impressed at all. I mean, Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams are pretty much the crown jewels of this defense. I just think that we have too much on offense for them, really, with everybody playing.
I hope that comes to fruition too, honestly.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But hey, man, JLP, I always love you starting off the call-in shows, man. I love your engagement, man. Thank you for holding me down, brother.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Talk to you, bro.
See ya.
Yo. Dude, I think you got to turn me down. I hear myself. Unmute yourself.
Should be able to.
All right, you're good. Can you you're in the Matrix. Talk.
Am I?
Talk. Just have a full sentence.
Okay. Sorry. How is everybody doing today?
This is ass. This is ass. Yeah.
What
are you using as a mic? Are you using those? Hold on, wait a minute. Before you leave, are you using those earbuds?
Yeah, I got to switch to my mic.
Man, if you don't take
I'll fix my
off,
mic.
thank you, sir. All right. So look, that's how I feel about their defense. We already know. So that's that's how we feel about their defense. Offensively, offensively, it's gonna be the Garrett Wilson. It's three the hard way. It's Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and Aaron Rodgers. That's it. That's it. I mean, Mike Williams is a guy. Don't like Mike Williams is somebody that can definitely I don't even want to say take the top off, but Mike Williams he's a solid receiver. I'm very strong receiver. But I don't like their offensive line. I think the best they got on their offensive line, in my opinion, is Elijah Vera Tucker. I'm not a big Tyron Smith fan. Not at this stage of his career. I understand what they're trying to do there, but I expect us to get movement against Tyron Smith. I expect us to get movement against Morgan Moses, man. Like I know Morgan. I know this man, right? Morgan played with my little brother at UVA. You know what I'm saying? Morgan is being in the streets of DC. I know Morgan, bro. Like, Morgan can be beat. And I know that's not exactly like technical as far as football is concerned, but Nick Bosa should have his way with Morgan Moses. Dead ass. I'm sorry, belt to ass. I don't even want to hear it. So I'm not really a fan of their offensive line. Joe Tippmann at center is a jag. He's just a guy, in my opinion. And John Simpson is the worst out of the lot. I just don't necessarily have any type of, I don't want to say respect, because that's not fair. They're NFL players. But I don't see necessarily anything that would definitely shy away from what we have on defense in Nick Bosa, Malik Collins, Javon Hargraves, and Leonard Floyd starting. So Devondre Campbell and Fred Warner shaping it out. And then also, I don't know the actual news, but there are whispers that Huff may be back, that they're trying to get Huff back. So look, man, I'm telling you, as far as their offense is concerned, it's three the hard way. Like I said, it's Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna get a couple of super chats out the way, then I'm gonna bring you up, DMV. All right. So $2, Tommy Huxley. Thanks, bro. Hello, fairy godmothers. Yo, this dude is wild. And Ninth Wonder Comics, 1999. Thank you so much, Ninth Wonder. Ninth Wonder, you came to my very first call-in show. I know exactly who this is. Bro, come back on the show, man. I really loved your commentary. Keep up the good work, Coach. Thank you, Ninth. My guy.
Hey, what's up?
Talk to me,
How you
man.
doing, Coach?
I'm good, bro.
None. Just I'm looking forward to the season opener, but at the same time, I'm worried about when we have players that hold out towards the end of training camp, going into the first week. They haven't had no real reps, so they're
Mm-hmm.
still getting in football shape, let alone getting in game shape.
Right.
So you don't know what you're going to get. Trent Williams, he's a great player, great athlete. I get it. We needed him. You need him for a blind side, but at the same time, he's injury prone. He's known for having injuries too, lingering injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a test. Like, I mean, Brock Purdy looked different, and when he played with the ones when he didn't have Trent Williams on that blind side.
Right.
He was running out the pocket. He was looking a little bit more flare. So it's good to see that he has everybody here. So it's no excuse why we can't go in there and again against Aaron Rodgers and perform. My only issue is you're talking about McCaffrey having an injury now, and they play through that. These are signs that I've seen, and I've been saying it to my chapter because I have a chapter out here in DC, 9 Empire DMV, that I feel like we doing the running back tour. Like how when we lost in 2019 when we lost to the Chiefs, what did we do? How did we really get better on this roster to where we can make that push and really win the Super Bowl? Like, how do we get better? Like, we still haven't answered that whole question about McKivitz. McKivitz is still a question.
Yeah, I mean, I think okay. So I'll give you this. Turn me down a little bit, bro, because I hear myself.
Okay.
I think that Colton McKivitz is a means to an end, bro. He's He's a $7 million starting right tackle, right? You just don't find those around. Uh, and for what it's worth, um, he's a homegrown guy, so the equity is there. They drafted him. Uh, they know exactly what they're going to get out of him. I would say I would damn near say go as far as to say is that his deficiencies have almost been have almost been put into the scheme for what they know he can and cannot do. Uh, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a recipe, bro. And Kyle Kyle likes that ingredient. He likes that right tackle being there. But I'll tell you this: there's a lot of ways to engineer around what Colton McKivitz can and cannot do. One thing that I will say before we even start talking about Colton McKivitz as a player, Colton McKivitz is playing with a much better player next to him in Dominic Puni. Okay.
I agree.
That right there, from an offensive line standpoint, I know that's not his position, but I'm telling you, man, there's a confidence that you gain in an Aaron Banks and in a Lincoln Tomlinson from playing next to a Staley and a Trent Williams. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
there is a confidence that those two are going to get together, playing with one another, front side scooping and backside comboing, right? Where these guys are going to learn each other's strengths. And because of it, we're going to see a lot of things. Now, I'll tell you this one thing right now. I've seen already 3 games of them playing together. And one thing I'll tell you is that Dominic does not suffer fools. And what I mean by that is that he's one of those dudes where he doesn't know how to halfway turn down what he does. He's going to run off the line of scrimmage as hard as possible. He's going to give you a check, but if you ain't there to take over, he's leaving you flat on your face because he's going to go get paint. He's going up to the second level. One thing that I'll tell you with Colton is that Colton does very well out in the open field. His issue is in pass protection, all right, going up against edges that are his size. That's the problem. Like Colton is a large man. He's 6'7", all right? And a lot of that he uses to his advantage because there's not a lot of 6'7" or 6'6" defensive ends running around in the NFL. Most of these guys are going to be sawed off, chopped off at the half, trying to be able to get under his pads and bend that edge and bend that corner as quickly as possible. He does well with all of that. His problem is that when he deals with the man that can cover the same ground as he can and can get there quicker, all right? And he gets thrown off with larger, longer athletes. And that's where we start to see the Colton McKivitz where he's waist bending. He's giving up the corner on a soft edge, or he's not confident coming out of his set and he forgets to bring his hands because he's so worried about his feet. Like his technique isn't married together. So these are things that we've seen out of Colton, but we have to give him a little bit of a break because Colton McKivitz went from getting picked up by this team to getting cut by this team to getting thrusted into the starting offensive line and then making it all the way to the Super Bowl. He's building the plane in the air, right? We're literally watching him grow in front of us, right? So
Yeah.
for me, I stopped judging him for what he's not, and I started assessing him for what he is and where I project him to be. What is his projection, right? We can talk about what we see in front of us all day. We can do that. But the real work comes in when you have to say, all right, cool. You're telling us water is wet. We get that. What do you see down the line, though? And what can you see now that will point to what you see in another year or by the time we get to week 10 or by the time we get to the Super Bowl? What is Colton McKivitz going to be like then, having a Dominic Puni next to him the entire for his entire rookie season? So I have a little bit of faith. Like, offensive line is like chili, right? It's a little bit, it's a dash of this, a pinch of that. You know what I'm saying? There is no recipe. You go until okay, it's just right. Don't touch it. We can't tell you how we got there, but we know it tastes right. So we just got to understand that these guys need to just kind of sit in the pot for a little bit. They got to sit in the pot and kind of create their own flavor. So I'm hopeful with all of them playing together, because one thing that we do is we talk about the offensive line like it's basketball. We talk about the center, then we talk about the forward, then we talk about the point guard and what he can't do. And we forget the fact that I don't give a damn how good your center is if the whole line can't stop the quarterback from getting sacked. It's the whole line. It's the offensive
Exactly.
line ain't working. And the average fan isn't gonna give two shits about soft set, hard set. Oh, he had independent hands on that. Or oh nah, they miscommunicate. Like, no, the fans are just gonna be saying, we can't protect these guys. All right. The offensive line sucks. So my thing is that by hook or crook, whatever they put together that gets them to the Super Bowl, I'm fine with. Because the offseason conversation is over. Can't talk about the draft anymore. We can't talk about, oh, look at this guy. We could have brought, hey, look, we burned the boats, man. The train is already on the tracks. Offseason talk is over.
It's do or die now.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm looking towards what's the end result. I'm all about them doing it the 49er way.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about saying that concept comes back from the 80s, the Eddie DeBartolo era. And I feel it's like a lot of things to get through this season, you want to have to figure it out. We've always figured it out,
Right.
but you just getting tired of getting at the end and you getting right there. And it's always something, it's just always an anomaly. You didn't expect Drake Greenlaw to go down in the Super Bowl. You didn't expect certain things to happen. So it's like, it's just for this season, I just want to see something different. I want us to really punish teams. I want us to really be a all four quarters team.
Right.
Not, oh, we might have to come back. Oh, and I get you're gonna have games like that. You're gonna have games where it's gonna be some adversity. But the teams that we should be beating, we should just beat the shit out of.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go.
Yeah, beat the dog shit out of. And the teams that you're gonna like, well, we got to play the Chiefs this season. I want to see a different product out there. I want us to actually get ahead of them and get ahead of them fast. I want us to be able to scheme properly to really show what we can do if we have to see them in the Super Bowl again. Like, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth that you lost to the same team twice. And it wasn't by that many points.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Look, bro.
You just want to see a different result. I want to go to a parade, coach. I would like to go to a parade before I die. I'm 40 now. I would love to see a parade.
Hey, look, bro. So, all right, now we having a real conversation now. Bro, I'm here to watch these dudes play the game and to enjoy each other. Literally, that's it. I'm not letting these dudes process control my life. I ain't doing it, because at the end of the day, they don't know me and I do not know them. We do not know each other. You know what I'm saying? So, look, do I want a Super Bowl? Of course I want a Super Bowl, right? Who doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't no fool. Something's up. We should have had it done by now. You know what I'm saying?
We had 3 chances.
Yeah. So, look, I understand, Super Bowl or bust, and having an expectation for these guys to do exactly what they're supposed to do. And the whole no excuses, but they're older. This is not the same team from last year. This damn sure ain't the team from 2022 or the 2020 or the 19 team. So we just got to see what their approach. What's this team's version of the San Francisco 49ers? Because I think that's a bigger narrative that is being missed right now, is that this team isn't the same. And we don't know what this team is. Even though the names may be the same, this is not the same team that we saw walk off the field in February. So now we got to see what they are.
Yeah. It will be an interesting season. I think we won't know our true identity until probably mid-season. What we really are capable of.
I agree with that. I would say week 6 is when I would start, like, when I feel like the dust starts settling on who we are. Week 1, we of course have the Jets. We got the Vikings. Okay, so these are two teams that have our offense. All right, like-minded teams. They almost are ran the same way. Okay, then we have the Rams, our first divisional game. I'd love to see what we do against the Rams' revamped run game and how Matt Stafford looks, and if we dominate them as usual. Right, that's a team that we usually have
Mm-hmm.
no problem with during the regular season. I want us to be able to handle business versus the Pats. All right. Then we have another divisional game. We have another divisional game with the Cardinals. And right after that, we see the Seahawks. Okay. So for me, I feel like going to Seattle, once we get out of that Seattle game, and then, by the way, for context, we have the Chiefs the very next week. So I'd
Yeah,
say week 6, week 7, we'll know exactly who we are. We'll know exactly who we are, because after that, the only real team that we see after that, we got the Lions again, we got the Dolphins, whatever. There's the Bills, they're out there. We don't know what the Packers will be, especially with Jordan Love going down last night.
exactly.
Yeah, so really, I see it by week 7, bro. Week 7, we'll know.
Week 7.
Yeah,
Okay. What you think the prediction? You had a prediction for our record this year?
yeah, I got us going 12-5, 12-6. Sorry, 12-6. So I got us losing to, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I got us losing to the Rams in week 3. I got us losing to 1, 2, 3. I have us losing to the Chiefs in week 7. Oh no,
Y'all just losing that game?
I got us losing to the Seahawks and the Chiefs in week 6 and week 7.
Okay.
I got us losing to that's a win, that's a win, that's a win. I think we're going to beat the Cowboys, we're going to beat the Bucks. We're going to beat the Seahawks because I feel like that'll split it because we lost to them earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got us losing to Green Bay and the Bills. Then I have us beating the Bears, beating the Rams, beating the Dolphins, losing to the Lions, and then beating the Cardinals. So I got us going 12-6, possibly 13-5, because I don't know what the Packers are going to be now if Jordan Love is out. So that 12
Yeah.
and 6, 13-5 range, right? It's yo, chill out. Hey, but hey, Niners, hey, hit my you got my Twitter?
Yeah, I got your Twitter.
Hit me on Twitter, bro. Since you're in the area, bro, we can link up.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
And like
we can.
we go watch the games at Buffalo Wild Wings and Bowie, and we might be find a new spot. So I'll let you know. I'll send you the
Bro, come
information.
on, man. I'm a Vista Gardens baby. Stop playing with me, bro.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man. I know exactly where y'all at. So get at
Okay.
me,
All
man.
right.
Let me
Bet that.
know.
All right. I'll let you know. All right,
All right, bro.
man.
All right.
All right.
Nick,
What up,
what's
coach?
good, homie? Talk to
What's
me.
going on? What's going on? So I got two things.
All right.
Did you watch the Packers Eagles last night?
Yes.
What did you think? Because honestly, I mean, I know it's week 1, everyone's still ironing out the kinks and everything, but like Saquon did what McCaffrey did for our team. Not gonna say he didn't. He looked really, really good,
Mm-hmm.
but Jalen Hurts looked awful. He could have thrown like 4 or 5 picks last night.
All right. So did you watch all right, did you catch me and Jesse's show throughout the summer when we ranked the quarterbacks? Did you
I
catch that
didn't.
show?
I catch your shows like on and off, but I don't know if I caught that specific episode. No.
I I'm a Bama guy for context.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is mid, man.
Yeah.
He's mid. I mean, he looks the part, athletic kid, great character. I don't have anything disparaging to
Yeah.
say about Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts as like a person, right? But he does not see the field. The ball comes out way too slow. And then on top of it, he's not necessarily accurate. I mean,
No.
he has spurts of accuracy. Like, you know what I mean? Like 3, 4 plays in a row, you're like, all right, I get that. Like if they're moving the ball fast enough, If
Yeah.
like, he can get on a heater, like he can get a rhythm going. But like on demand quarterbacking, like just go be a quarterback. No. And Jordan Love, he looked mid.
Yeah.
I agree with this. I agree with this, Kyle Chipto. Like I was
Yeah, I agree with that
surprised.
too. And I know the field was an issue. Like, it was bad last night. I will say that.
Yeah.
But Jordan Love just stays throwing off his back foot and no feet planted. Just stays doing that for no
I,
reason.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
He throws I don't know, like he tries to throw with his entire body, which I understand, but there seems to be just like some accuracy issues with Jordan Love that I don't get. But I don't honestly, Jordan Love, if I had to go mid 1 and mid 2, like
Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts are right up there.
Jalen Hurts is definitely mid 1.
Well,
He
yeah, go. Sorry. Go.
no, go.
Oh, I just remember what Bosa said after the Eagles game when they asked him about like what the game plan was and everything. He goes, "Yeah, we're just gonna box him in, not let him, and he's gonna throw the ball
Mm-hmm.
because he can't read it. Like you said, he can't read a field. Like I went back with one of my buddies and we rewatched the all-22 of that
Mm-hmm.
Eagles Niners game,
Yeah.
and there were guys open and he just couldn't see them flat out.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
plain and simple. Like it wasn't too complicated. Like I know our DBs played a good game so what was that week 13 last year? They played a good game, but there was yards to be had and he just didn't see them.
Yeah.
So I don't like how could if you're a Niners fan, how can you look at that and be like, "Oh, the Eagles are going to be so much better than last year?" Because at the end of the day, I like our guy better than their guy at the end of the day. That's just plain and simple. That's just how I feel. I like Brock
Mm.
better than Jalen. So if it comes down to that type of game, I mean, I like Brock's decision making better. I like Brock's processing better. I like his accuracy better. Like, yeah, Jalen can run around a little bit, but he's not like Lamar Jackson. It's not like you once he goes, you can't get him. He's
No.
just he's just a powerful dude.
Yeah. He's a good athlete.
Yeah, no, he is. But I and the Eagles secondary was still a little suspect, and that Packers defense was awful last night. And
Yeah.
I don't see how. Like, I understand the Packers defense has some like guys on their defense, but taking a college coach and making him a defensive coordinator, I don't know how that like. I'm not really scared of like their defense is the same in my mind as last year. It's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as concept is concerned, um, it was quite rich to think that you're going to get a guy fresh out of college and immediately, um,
Right. Yeah.
make waves with him. Especially with, it's not like you're kind of like in our situation where, hey man, we kind of have the defense already there. We just need somebody to bring us their spin, like give us
Right.
your wrinkle on defense. And we've
Right.
already got what you need, right?
Yeah.
The Packers are not it. That is not
Right.
their situation.
Yeah.
So to bring over a guy who not only is going to have to run the team from a schematic standpoint, but also help scout and bring in players to make the defense actually better. And then not even better, but the transition. Everything that this new guy is bringing in is not what they have now. Ergo, you're going to need a different type of athlete, a different
Right.
type of position. So it's a lot of moving parts and to expect success right away. So I want to be fair to the Packers. They don't necessarily always
No, yeah, like I said, it was week one. I'm not going to put any stock into it, but like
right.
early overreactions, if you put it that way, like I don't. I really think it's us and the Lions. Like I don't. I think the Packers may be a year away. To your point about them getting what he needs on defense next year in the draft and so on and so forth. And then the Eagles, it's just like I always thought like this might be a hot take, but remember I forget what year it was when the Eagles had like Michael Vick, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin. Like what was it, like 2012 or something
That was
like
like
that?
2012 or
Y-
14 when Vic
And they
came out of
and they
jail.
didn't make the playoffs. I'm not saying the
Yeah.
Eagles aren't making the playoffs, but it looks good on paper.
Didn't they
You
call
know,
that the dream team? Wasn't that the
exactly,
dream team?
exactly. Like they didn't make the playoffs. They went like 5-12 that year.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I just like obviously like the Eagles are gonna beat the teams that they should beat, but like when they play better competition, like how do you feel comfortable with Jalen? Like anytime the pocket breaks down, um, all of a sudden he gets frazzled in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean,
He makes
the
bad
best thing that
decisions.
happened for Jalen's development is that offensive line. The fact that
Yeah,
they invest so much in that Hoover Dam of an offensive line, like they put it like this.
Jason Kelsey's a big loss, though, Coach.
Oh, they can still do the push. They can still do it though.
I know, but you saw they had 2 bobbled snaps in that game.
True. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. That's a big step down.
No,
all right?
no, totally.
But I will say, if it wasn't for if the Eagles did not prioritize offensive line, put it like this: Jalen Hurts could not play here.
No.
Jalen Hurts could not play here.
Brock makes his average O-line look like a way above average. The way I saw a stat, the guy Warren Sharp on Twitter, Brock Purdy was like in the top 6 of like bad protection turn into sacks. So like meaning like when the O-line broke down, it didn't turn into a sack. Brock was like top 6 in the league last year. Like I don't think Jalen's doing that. I don't.
No. If you think the thing that's kind of crazy is that you watch these guys play, and then you know what we have on our offense from an offensive line and protection standpoint, and then you almost appreciate Brock more, right?
Totally, 100%.
You look at Jalen, and I look at Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts has never played with average football players. The last time that Jalen Hurts played with average football players, he was in high school. And I don't even think Jalen Hurts lost the game in high school, honestly.
Probably not.
Right?
But to your point, Alabama, Oklahoma.
Come on, son.
Yeah.
He's played in front of some of the best offensive linemen that the game of football has had to offer at that time, if you think about it. Right?
No, it's true, yeah.
And then you think about it like, okay, now it's going to be a crapshoot. You got to go to the league now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see what you could do. And then he goes to the Eagles, and they have a crazy offensive line. I don't think that Jalen Hurts would survive in the league if he had to have like not even a bad offensive line, but an average offensive line.
Yeah, he could be making $200 million over here.
You know who Jalen Hurts, the Jalen Hurts arc, his play arc, and then I got to move on after this. But you know who his play arc is to me if he had an average offensive line? Justin Fields.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. No.
What would Jalen Hurts think about that? What would Jalen Hurts do if you took Justin Fields and put him in Philly when he was a rookie, and then you take Jalen Hurts and then you stick his ass over here in Chicago? What would be the difference?
I'll take it one step further too before I go. Justin Fields is a way better athlete than Jalen Hurts. Justin Fields had some highlight plays, like that play against the Niners. I don't know if you remember where it was like I forget, they were in the red zone and he got out of the pocket and then turned around and scooted all the way back to the other side of the field and scored.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts ain't doing that. He's not fast enough.
No.
So to your point, yeah. All right, Coach. I'm looking forward to Monday night. By the way, just want to make one more quick point. I do think I have confidence in Monday night because Kyle, for some reason, he gets like jittery when he plays against his other coaches. Like he comes out for blood. So I think Kyle's gonna have a good game plan, and I think Brock's gonna put the people on notice because so far the quarterback play's been pretty bad this first couple games we've seen. Lamar didn't play good. Mahomes played okay, and then Jordan and Hurts played But all right, Coach, be good.
Hey, remember this: we were feeling that way the same in the beginning of last year. We were all saying the same thing. We were saying that Jalen. We were saying that Pat Mahomes doesn't look good. We were saying this, so just remember that.
That's true. Yeah. All right, Coach. I'll talk to you. Be good, man.
Get at you, brother. Talk to you. PDX.
Can you hear me?
I got you, brother. What's going on, man?
Man, I'm pumped. It's time. Monday night, ready to go and kick the shit out of the Jets.
I'm ready to stump a mud hole in these dudes and walk them dry. I'm ready, man. I'm sick of it. I'm ready to beat these dudes down. I'm ready to take out the whole offseason out on these cats, man.
I feel it. I like to be skeptical most of the time, but game day, you just throw that all away and you go up to them, you say, you're going down and you're going down in a bad way, and I'm not going to accept any other outcome. And I'm ready for it. I'm fucking ready for it.
Yeah, I feel like Monday night's going to be a big woosah moment for the rest of us. Like, it's time for us to just kind of like, I can't wait for all of us to collectively cheer with one another, collectively be upset with one another. Like, I'm ready to be a fan. Like, I'm tired of scrutinizing all of this stuff that, quite frankly, isn't football. It's not football. Finding out whether or not Brandon Ayuk gets signed, I understand that that's the business of football, but that's not the cream. That's not the games. That's not us literally just watching these guys on the weekend be the best at what they do. That's what I can't wait for Monday night. I think they even can't wait for me. It's like, dude, can we just strap up and go play? Let me just go be great. I can't scrutinize Fred Warner when he's being the best middle linebacker on football. Yeah, in football. So it's like I'm ready for us to just collective hearts and minds, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for it too. I'm really like one of the key things I'm looking for, given that the Jets defense is really good, is I'm a Brock Purdy believer. I like Brock Purdy a lot. I think he can be really good, if not elite. I'm not ready to say that yet, but I think he's trending that way.
Right.
But can he get to can he get past his read to Ayuk and Debo and Kittle and get to some of those other players that we've added? Like, if Jacob Cowing's good, today or this week is a great week to show it by getting a couple of really nice key catches. They have 3 corners, they don't have 4, right? Like, if Jacob Cowing's good, he should be able to beat him. So I'm looking for that if he's going to be what I think he can be.
Yeah. I mean, defensively, I think that there's holes there. We talked about it. Their safeties are below par. Defensive line, they've got some guys definitely in Quinnen Williams. And Jermaine Johnson versus Trent Williams is going to be the matchup. That's going to be the matchup. Their matchup that they like is the reason why they're going to throw Jermaine on the side of Quinnen. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to single out Aaron versus Quinnen. So Jermaine can have 100% one-on-ones versus Trent. So he can use speed versus Trent. He doesn't have to think about it. He can pin his ears back and just go off, use all of his inside and outside moves, knowing that Quinnen Williams is going to be occupying Aaron Banks over on that left guard spot. So, right now, the real cross to bear offensively is the left side of our offensive line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't say that. I didn't say no. I didn't say that.
Who the hell said no? Who was that? Who's not muted? Who is that? Matt, stop, Matt. Anyway, look, so that's exactly how I feel about how our offensive line is going to see these guys. You got to be able to pace out. Is Jalen Moore going to get some reps over Trent Williams? I would say so. I don't think that Trent Williams is going to be able to play an entire game. I don't. What do you feel?
No, and I'd rather see them ramp him up. I'd rather see Jalen Moore early than late. Like, rotate early with Trent, get him warmed up into the game, and then if we need him, keep Trent in longer if it's getting close. But, it's week 1. You hate to say it, but just like with how week 1 has gone with, the Ravens and Chiefs and the Eagles and Packers almost being like preseason games. I mean, the Ravens were rusty. If, just to not get too worked up over winning this game and getting out of it healthy especially with like Trent, because if he's gone, like the season's toast. We're done. It's kaput. So ramp him up. Don't give him too much time early. I don't think that's the way it's going to go, though. They may try to rotate Jalen Moore in, but I get the feeling that Trent is going to pull Christian McCaffrey and just kind of be like, no, I'm staying in. You're not taking me out of this game.
I tend to feel that way, too. I really do. I hear about the pacing out, and I'm trying to, give all options, trying to be economic, like, be efficient. But the truth of the matter is that if the game is in the balance and Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk are not in the game, that's a problem. They're going to be in the game. So if the game gets, I could see us pulling away from them by like 2 scores in the fourth quarter or something, and seeing Trent and BA in, baseball caps on the sidelines, like near the end of the game, something like that. But I just don't see them coming out of series and flip-flopping guys. I don't see that happening, especially if they get a groove going. It's like, why would you mess with that? Like, just keep them in.
No, yeah, they're not going to mess with it. I'm excited to see Puni too. Although, like with the preseason and training camp and all the news, I with offensive linemen, it's like I wait till week 8 with rookie offensive linemen to see if they're going to do good because they always kind of suck, even if they look good. Like people were talking about Kingsley Suma. I can't say his last name.
Suamataia.
Suma, forget it. Uh, they were talking him up during training camp and preseason. He didn't really look that good last week, but it's week 1, first real defense. Like, let's see week 8 versus week 1 to see if he's good. And I didn't even want to draft him, but that's how I feel about Puni too. It's like he looked good. He may not be good the first week, but let's see week 8 versus the first week with him.
Yeah, I think for me, it's going to be Puni dealing with savvy defensive tackles. I feel like if defensive tackles match his energy, meaning that they just fly off the ball and play hard, I don't have any problems with Dominic Puni. That's almost like what he wants. He wants the wreck. He wants to be physical. He wants to use his body and his strength. I get that. I'm concerned when you have a guy who's savvy enough to use more than one move on Dominic, who knows how to play half a man, right? And who knows how to get him in holding situations. Like guys who play with Dominic's pad level, is like his pad level is very high, right? So when he comes out of his stance, he's almost erect coming out of his stance. And there's going to be some D tackles and defensive line coaches that they get paid too. They're going to coach that up. They're going to say, look, man, stay low on this guy, stay above his navel, get under that rib cage and go to work, push him out, right? That sounded crazy, But what you have to do is use his pad level against him, right? So I know. So what you're going to have to do is use his pad level against him. That's what I'm more concerned about with Dominic. But as far as with John Feliciano and Spencer Burford, if you just had a stout tackle, a guy who had independent, strong hands, played with a good base, played with a good motor, played with 3 yards of depth in the backfield, just a professional lineman, just a professional D lineman with no holes, just having that in front of John Feliciano and Spencer Burford, they were already at a loss. At a loss, right? So with Dominic Puni coming in right now, I think that he's going to learn as the games progress. But what he's going to learn is going to take him from being good right away to possibly being a very great tackle, because that's where he's at right now. Because you don't start right away as an offensive lineman, especially on this team, right? Because we don't prioritize it. So the fact that we found the guy that they want to stick in there right now,
it does bode well. It
bodes very well. It bodes very well for him. So I'm excited. And because of that, I think that that's going to uplift the entire offensive line. It's going to help out Jake Rendell. It's going to help out Colton McKivitz. It's going to help everybody. So I'm excited to see it. And like I said, I think that's the biggest upgrade that we're going to see on this team this year is Dominic Puni at that right guard spot.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And I mean, you look at a lot of like teams that are good offensive lineman drafting teams. It's not like outside of the Eagles, it's not like every single lineman on those teams is all good, right? They don't have 5 starters, like the Eagles. And the Eagles probably overinvest a little bit in their offensive line and should put some money elsewhere if they can. But like, I like typically, maybe not this year, but I typically like what like the Ravens do with the offensive line, where they get like 3 really, really good starters and then like a solid cheap veteran like Kevin Zeitler and then another veteran on the other side. And I'm hoping that we can kind of
No, I buy into the bullshit. Look. If I say something that that the chat is like, Coach, we're not letting this go. I'm not gonna act like it doesn't exist. I said some pretty pause-worthy shit for like the past like 3 minutes, and the chat is flaming me for it, and I'm obliging. I'm obliging. I'm sorry. Go ahead, but go ahead. Give me like your last point, man. I'm about to get gammon up.
No, it just like offensive lines are units. Not every player has to be good for your offensive line to be really good. You know, like you can if you have 3 really good offensive linemen, you can probably string together a top 10 unit, is assuming you don't have trash, which maybe we do. I don't know, but
right. Yeah, but I think I'm past. You know, like I've said this in other calls. I'm over the draft. I'm over what we could. I'm done with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I'm happy with our offensive line because we actually got better. How much better?
Yeah.
Remains to be seen.
Yep. And Harris had a good roast of me in there. He said I looked like Lester from GTA 4.
I saw that. I did not want to put that up. That was a very good one. I wanted to save it. It was very good, but Harris is vicious, man. Like I'm telling
it's
you,
brutal.
man.
It's brutal. He roasted
It's brutal.
me.
I'm looking for it right now because that was such a goaty comment. But when he put it up there, I was like, I was like, dude, PDX just got up here. I do not want to put this up here while he's talking. But it was a goaty comment. You do look like Lester off of GTA.
Man, I just need to shave.
Hey, PDX, call in, man. Hey, I'm going to be doing the live show for the games, man. So I'll holler at you, bro.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Thanks for calling, man. What up?
How we doing, brother?
Gamon.
Yes,
What's
sir.
good, brother?
Man, I'm doing great. Doing great. I want to say a shout out to chat for being so interactive and being fun and awesome. It's one of my definitely my favorite channel that I moderate. I did have a couple of things to ask you. Since and we're on the topic of Kyle Juszczyk, he's really been in a massive decline since 2019. We're talking about snaps, his snap count and production, and I just don't know, how good we're going to be out of 21 personnel. And the other thing too that I'm kind of worried about is even out of 12 personnel, our second tight end, who we kind of use as a secondary kind of run blocker, I don't think is going to be as good as our other run blocker. So I'm looking at those two sets, and I'm just going to bombard you with stuff, kind of see how you feel about everything. And then out of our 11 personnel, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about our 11 personnel. But when I look at the offensive line, and I haven't really heard anybody say this, but it just seems like Aaron Banks might be the weakest link on the offensive line. I know everyone's thinking McKivitz, but Aaron Banks has been grading every single season he's been in the league in the bottom 26.4% in the league at his respective position. And I'm just starting to wonder, maybe we might be better off once Feliciano comes off of IR over there. Maybe it's time to kind of get that out. He has like 1 or 2 really good games. We treat him still like a rookie, but I'm going to be honest with you, Coach, but you're the line coach. Do you think this offensive line can take another step forward? And do you think, with especially how good, or I should say how deep we are at the offensive guard position, Banks will hold on to this position, especially since this is his last year?
I would have felt that way if we would have kept Garrett Kingston, but we didn't. And I think that they wanted to hold on to him. He was snatched immediately off of waivers when we let him go. I do believe that Aaron Banks is trending down. He had a lackluster camp, even when he was playing before his injury. And his body, he has a lot of nicks and bruises that typically for offensive line, you just don't see holding you out. I will say that I don't have good news for you as far as us moving on from him. I think that because he is a guard and a starting guard on a Super Bowl winning team, there are going to be teams that are going to pay him. It's hard to find offensive linemen, especially starting caliber ones, even if they're not as good as we think they are.
Yeah, and
it's still hard.
That's something that really kind of hurts is talking about players that the 49ers think that they could have snuck onto the practice squad. Looking across the way, we had DJ Reed, and he's one of the top 20 corners in the league, and we could have easily kept him. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know enough about the how the special teams is looking, but we've gave up some pretty big offensive teams kind of runs against us, and I know that. I'm kind of wondering if this too could be the last year for our special teams coach. I mean, everything has changed, so it might be a changing of the guard. And lastly, I do want to say this. I'm pretty nervous about Brock being able to throw without any kind of like interceptions this game. I think their middle linebackers and their interior pass rush, really, their middle linebackers are insanely outstanding as far as pass coverage. Like, we think about how good Fred Warner is, and it's like they have two guys that can play damn near at the same level as Fred Warner as far as pass coverage. So, and that's just pretty much it. That's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for how well we do out of 11-man personnel. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of Conley. I think we're going to see a lot of 3 wide receiver sets and kind of take advantage of that. But has 15 picks this year. He had 13 last year. I'm thinking he'll probably have 13, 14 this year, but I'm thinking he'll have like 40 touchdowns this year. I think he's going to have to throw it a lot more because we're not going to be in the same 21 12-man personnel sets that we're used to. So, but thank you for your time, Coach.
Thank you, man. Hey, Gammon, always a pleasure, man. Keep knocking them dead in the chat.
Yes, sir.
All right, Matt, you ready for me, boss?
I'm here, Coach.
What's good, Matt?
Coach, good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm good, brother. Talk to me, man. What you got?
I actually took the whole offseason off. I basically turned off YouTube 49ers after we lost the Super Bowl, and I'm back. So you're my first call in. It's a pleasure to see you. Yes.
Thank you, man. That's just the little things, bro. Just the little things. Thank you.
But I wanted to get your opinion. Just because I'm a man of a certain age, I remember Aaron coming out, and every now and then he'd have one of those days out of nowhere when he had that chip on his shoulder, and he would make the third and fourth guy off the bench look like Rob Gronkowski or Julio Jones or something like that. You think we're in for one of those? You think he can still take over a game, or is that ship sailed?
That ship is sailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean. It's like when Aaron Rodgers, it's almost like the 2010 year when he was basically doing it with nobodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were so decimated and hurt that he was turning people into household names, right? Mm-hmm. I've been paying attention to kind of like the what's what and who's who of like New York Jets, mm-hmm. and it's a mixed bag. As far as like how he's being received out there, as far as his leadership style.
I live out here. I'm in Staten Island and Brooklyn.
So you very well know that there's been reports about some people that they're carrying they're carrying the banner. They think he's the best thing of all time for the organization, and then there's some people that are whispering like, "Man, what did we buy? Like, what do we got? What have we gotten ourselves into?" Mm-hmm. Either way, there's not one voice. And because there's not one voice, I don't see this kind of like backyard-esque football touch that Aaron Rodgers used to be able to give us back in the days in his prime. Because one of the things that I think that gets missed about that time in Aaron Rodgers' career is that people forget Aaron Rodgers used to be extremely mobile. Mm-hmm. He used to be very mobile. That's part of his game that people forget has all but left. And I don't see him giving us the best rendition of his newest Tom Brady, where he gets to stand stoic in the pocket and barely get out and hobble to the sidelines to get a 3-yard run. I don't see that. I think we need to turn it up on this dude. And one of the biggest things that's going to hurt him is that interior offensive line. They're just not good. I don't like that left guard. Tippmann is just a guy. And I like Vera, but, that's about it. So the offensive line, I don't think they've put enough protection in front of him for him to be any version of what we used to see from him in years past. And really, I think that they're building the plane in the air. They're kind of just seeing how it looks in the now, in the raw.
Well, the good thing is if you're going to build the plane in the air, you got an amazing engine in Breece Hall. And so I think about as good as it – well, I agree with you. I think about as good as it could get is they run right at the A and the B, and if they have a little bit of success with Breece in the middle, we're going to bite on a play action. That might take a chunk here or there. In a close game, that might mean something, but in a two touchdown game, it'll probably be too little too late.
I agree with that. Like, I just think that the Jets don't have enough. Cool story. I
Yeah.
get it. Maybe they would be a more formidable opponent if they had started this whole campaign the right way last year. But I see them in the same ilk as I did last year, just a little bit older and a little bit more less dynamic. They're trying at this stage. I feel like the Jets are an organization that are trying to keep the regime together more or less than actually make noise in the NFL. And you just can't serve two masters, right?
Saleh
If you're
needs a winning. If Saleh doesn't come up with the winning season this year, and I'm talking at least 10 wins, it's going to be what
He's
it always
done.
is in New York. It is on to the next one and everything like that. Just real quick, and then I just want to get your opinion. Well, I noticed something. I'll let you go. I watched the game last night. I agree with what you said about Hurts, and I think to a certain degree to Love as well. They miss open guys. Like,
all the time, bro.
I get it. They're phenomenal freak athletes, but like we've seen the JT O'Sullivan breaks down. Brock hits those throws. He's not the same athlete as them, but all I'm saying is he hits guys on the outside towards the sidelines that like people saw Jaden Jordan. Love almost threw a pick six that was going to change the game, and then 2 plays later he housed it with Reed. So I'm not down on Brock. I'm sure it would be great if we had a physical specimen, but I think he's going to be pretty good again this year.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Can you tell the faithful, as a fan that lives on the East Coast, particularly in New York, just how easy the media is on this team?
You guys have no idea.
Please.
I want it, you can find anything on the internet. Go on AM radio, WFAN. Put it on 6 o'clock West Coast one day. Just listen to what Brian Daboll, Daniel Jones, Robert Saleh. Forget it when
Nick Sirianni,
oh my
Mike
God,
Tomlin, Bill
neutered.
Belichick.
Day by day, neutered. You could win. Like, I didn't even listen this morning. Someone's getting murderized over Saquon today. It's that ship has sailed. He was a bum in New York, and now someone's going to be threatened to lose their job. But
yes.
Yeah.
Like they have like just for fans that, you know, we're the empire, so we're everywhere. But I knew that you're from my neck of the woods as far as like how we give it up media wise, how teams are scrutinized, and basically what's the rules of engagement on approaching a pro sports team. In the East Coast, there is no rules of engagement.
No.
Everything plays. So hey man, I just wanted that sentiment from you, man. Hey man, please call him back, man. I'm so humbled that I'm your first caller, bro. Thanks for bringing me in, bro. Hunter, you ready for me, dog? Hey, now look, I know you my man. I know this. But I also got my boy Player 49 waiting, okay? You two are going to be the last 2 guys on the show, all right? And if you get too spicy, I'm going to throw my man up here and we're going to jump you on cam. So I'm letting you know, talk nice, and speak your piece. What you got for me, brother? How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you echoing? Oh, so you trying to take it there? You trying to go there?
I'm
you trying to go echo for echo?
All right, am I still echoing?
Nah, you good. What's up, brother?
Okay. I can't see my camera up. That's weird.
Nah, go ahead, but I can see you. Go.
Okay, you can't. Okay, all right.
Everybody can see you.
What's up, Coach, man?
Let's go.
Look, not too spicy today,
I see
man.
you stepping your production game up, nigga. I see you. I see. He think he's slick. First he came in with the camera phone. Then he came in with the little green screen. Now he come in with a mic. I see you. I see you.
Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna jump into. I already do content creation for other stuff, but I think I'm gonna jump into my 49ers sports bag this year. I'm real big into prop betting, so I might do something with that too. I like the number side of sports. That's why when I came on, not last week, but the week before that, and we were talking about Brandon Ayuk and how much he should get paid. Remember, I told y'all it will be right in between that 28 to 30 million range, because if you look at the other guys that was in that range, like Ayuk is definitely better than them, and if you try to go below that, so I always look at the numbers in sports. Um, on any decision that I make, right? Like if even as far as how I feel about us, I always look at the number side of it. And man, I'm probably about to piss some people off. I don't like what the numbers say for Monday night. Um, First thing you got to look at is this is expected to be one of the lower scoring games this week,
Okay.
right? Now I understand we got two good defenses, okay? Now you always got to consider Vegas. We've been a Vegas darling for at least the past 2 years, right? Normally, especially after last year, like they get the 49ers a lot of credit, right? And justifiably so, right? We've been a really good team for the majority of the Kyle Shanahan era. But a lot of these lines that came out, and especially when you look at the prop bet, a lot of this stuff was not taking into consideration no Trent, no IU. They just assuming, oh, well, those guys will be there, right? Trent will be there, IU could be there, or they a trade for an equivalent of IU, right?
Hmm.
Um, so now coming into this Monday night game, I want to say the line on it dropped from where it was previously at. Um, the thing I'm worried about is that I still don't know if we can stop the run. And when you can't stop the when you can't stop the run, it makes it harder to win a ball game, right? And the Jets have a very, very good running back in Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's something that I'm really worried about is, man, are we gonna be up to snuff to stop Breece Hall? Now I'll say this. A lot of sports books have Breece Hall. You can get a really good line on him scoring a touchdown. I've been smashing that. I'm certain he's gonna get a touchdown against us. Yardage wise, I'm almost fairly confident he's gonna go over 100 yards on us as well. Um,
Breeze?
yeah, yeah. I think Brees is going. I think Brees is going to do us. Is going to do us dirty, man. So on that end, I think that's going to kind of, because you got to think Salah knows how to attack us, right? He knows how to attack us, and he knows what makes Kyle comfortable and what makes Kyle uncomfortable, right? So he's every decision that he makes is gonna be, okay, I need to put Kyle in a position to make bad decisions. Because generally with Kyle, the big downside to him is when the going gets going, he normally don't make good decisions. That's why we lose the Super Bowl, with a 10-point lead and in the fourth going into the fourth quarter, because he
Hmm.
just don't make good tough decisions. And I think after the offseason that we had, man, like if you would have told me for the offseason we would have Ayuk holding out to pretty much the last week, I could kind of expect that. But then Trent, that was kind of unforeseen. What happened to Ricky, even outside of the him getting shot, just the shoulder, him not really looking good in camp. Like, of course, we still got the O line issues. Like, I think Kyle is feeling a lot of pressure to come out and win in a big way on Monday night, and Robert Saleh knows that. And this game is, man. Remember a few weeks ago we were saying this game didn't have any like juice to it,
Juice. Yeah.
man. Man, I'm so ready for this game, man. I can't wait to see what
Yeah.
happens, man. This game has just got juicier and juicier. Does Aaron Rodgers still have it? That's a big question mark. Is Brock he the chosen one that he really wasn't chosen. He was the last pick of the draft and he became the quarterback. by de facto quarterback through injury. So he's the chosen one. It's really not the chosen one, right?
I mean,
He's the
shit, he
last
chose
of the chosen,
himself.
right? Yeah, he chose himself. Which is why I like Brock. He chose his damn self. And as good as this system is, y'all clown me for saying that. Oh, I said I think Joe Burrow and Brock Purdy, when their careers come to an end, I wouldn't be surprised if their careers look very similar. Um, in my opinion, right now, Brock has a leg up because Joe Burrow past 2 seasons ended on IR.
True. I'll give you that. And I mean, I know that's a hill that you're willing to die on. So you keep that one in your back pocket because you definitely are the Joe Burrow versus Brock Purdy. You got the fan club right now.
I mean, I'll put Brock up against anybody except Patrick Mahomes. That he'll have more Super Bowl wins by the end of his career than any of them. Any quarterback in the league right now, I will put money on it that Brock will have more Super Bowl wins by the end of his career than Lamar, Josh Allen, etc. If he make it through this season and we win the Super Bowl, Brock will win multiple Super Bowls.
I agree with that.
He's gonna win
Brock,
multiple Super Bowls. If he can get one this season, he should have
Yeah.
had one last season.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna do the
If he gets it
revisionist
done-
history.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do the revisionist history. He should have had one last season.
If he gets
Right.
it done with this regime, he's gonna get another one.
Yeah,
it's
he's
gonna
gonna
be
win.
imperative. They're gonna double down.
Yeah,
'cause
but
it's
man,
gonna be
even
too
though
big.
stuff, even though stuff look bad coming into the season, I think we still we're gonna have a good season, guys. We're gonna have a good season. Like, don't even worry about that. We're gonna have a good season, man. Trent Dilfer also has more rings than Lamar and Josh Allen.
But also this is another thing too. Eric Dane is kind of getting at you in the chat, and we're gonna be quick because players been waiting a long time. So we're gonna go about 3-4 more minutes, and then we're gonna get player in here. But I'll tell you this: Brock ended his first season on an injury.
Wasn't his fault.
That
was the coach's fault.
Bro, that's not the point, though. That's not the point. Is that part of your point is a little stepped on. Brock ended the season. If you want, all right, look, the same way you want to say that's not the point, I can be disingenuous and say, well, Brock has been injured for more than 50% of his career, even though we understand that he's only played maybe 2.5 seasons, right? So I can play that game too. All I'm saying is that you can't go on the Joe Burrow being hurt versus that's just something that you can't do because Brock has been hurt as well. That's all.
But like I said, if we go last season for last season, who had the better numbers, who went to the Super Bowl, and we live in this is a what have you done for me lately league. And man, I just and I'm not a big Brock Purdy guy, but I hate to see a guy who's grinding, fighting, clawing, scratching his way up. I mean, he was the last guy in the draft, and people still acting like it's no big deal. Like, man, you witnessing history. Do you know how many guys get drafted every year, and by the end of training camp, they are out of the league?
True.
Like, man, we watching history. If this guy can win the Super Bowl, even what he's done so far, like, that's good enough for me. For the guy to be the last pick in the draft to have the career that he's had so far, it's been fun to watch. But if he can win a Super Bowl, man, we watching history, right? Give me the list of players that were the last pick in the draft that have led a team to the Super Bowl.
Not many.
Like I said, man, we as fans, I feel we need to enjoy what we watching more than being overcritical. Now, if you're a content creator, it's your job to be critical of the product, and to judge it. But as fans, we need to sit back and enjoy it.
You do understand. I'll tell you this. There's a couple of guys in here that are listening to what you have to say. But just because we keep the narrative on how these guys chat and put chats out, we know how they stand. Now, Great One is a huge Brock Purdy scrutinizer.
Man, he
All
got
right.
the hotep. Look, he got the hotep
We
avatar.
know he hotepping. He hotep stepping. We know
He got the
all of his
hotep
posts,
avatar. I'm
all of
surprised
his
he's not a
posts,
Brock Purdy guy.
dog. He got the Hebrew Israelite situation. I can tell, bro. He ain't fooling nobody.
Look,
He
we
got the
know who he
purple
was going
shirt with the
for in the Kendrick
tassels
versus
on.
Drake battle. He a
Dog.
Kendrick guy all day.
Yeah.
He's not a Drake guy.
He coming in here with the Kendrick Lamar tweets. I know all of great ones comments smell like shea butter and incense and
Yes.
sea moss. So I
And
know
what you call it? Sage.
it's sage.
Look, Brock make a good play. He start hitting his house with the sage.
Yo. So I know we just fooling with you, Great One. We just messing with you. But all I'm saying is that there are some people that feel a certain way where you say, like, yo, Brock did come into an amazing situation. So just keep that in mind as well. Joe Burrow didn't come into what Brock came into.
Okay, this is the last point I'm gonna make.
This is the last
Y'all
point.
was talking about Jalen. This is the last point.
Thank you
We
so
gotta
much for
let
your patience,
player
player
49. We gotta let him cook. All right, y'all said Jalen Hurts always
bring
had
him
an
up here while
amazing
you talking,
supporting
just
cast.
so you know. I'm playing 49. You ready, bro?
Look, Brock, y'all said Jalen Hurts always had an amazing O-line, amazing weapons, and that boy still be out there looking confused and like he don't know what's going on, man. We only seen Brock look that way once. You know what I'm saying? We can't put a guy in the system and he work within the system and he do what he's supposed to do and try to discredit it for him. That's what the system is for. It's supposed to work. And he's working in the system better than any quarterback we have had in this system. That's it.
True.
That's all I got to say.
Hey, I'm going to holler at you. Be back, man. I want to hear all of your commentary. Yo, and honestly, you are my Brock Purdy correspondent for the channel, man. So good, bad, or indifferent. Don't you hide. You need to be
I'm
in
not
here.
going to hide. When he win the Super Bowl this year, y'all can come back and say, man, you was right. Brock took us to the promised land. The boy going to get us there, man.
Man,
BP
get
going
off
to get
my
us
channel,
there.
bro. All
right, man.
Bro. Thank you so much, Hunter. Player, what's good, brother? You muted, man? Or
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
Am I muted?
You closing? Nah, you good. You good. You closing us out, man.
I'm good.
Talk to
I'm
me.
good. Okay. Nah, man. I just want to say I had a draft the other day, another one, and I drafted CMC, and then the next day they started talking about his calf and his Achilles and stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, number one draft pick. Now I'm like, dirty.
Hey, look.
Projections, bro. What are
I can't.
projections, right?
I suck at fantasy football, bro. I'm not good at it, man. Like I be in here getting too personal. I'm like, I know
Oh,
he's
I'm
gonna do
very
good today.
mediocre.
I'm mid. I'm too mid. So look, I don't know what we're gonna do with the injuries coming in. Right, CMC seems to be
Yeah.
ready to go. I don't know if Juwan Jennings is ready to go. I don't know if Isaac Garindo's gonna play. So we got to figure out who's ready to go week 1. But I'm just encouraged that real football's coming, man. Like, how do you feel about that, man?
Yeah, man. I'm happy. It's back. You know, I'm excited because this is when football season starts. Sports starts.
Talk
You
to
know what
me.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because in this coming up time, everything is going to be on. You know what I mean? Basketball's about to come back. Baseball's about to hit. This is the best time in sports.
Right.
So I'm just excited about that overall. But ahead of that, football is back.
Yes.
And then we got the Niners, Monday Night Football, to showcase, what we got, what we're going to do for the rest of the season. And I hope we can do that. Even with the injuries and what we got going on, I hope we can still put a good product out on the field for the fans and for the organization.
I agree with that. I
So
think that,
we'll
but
see, man.
this is a dope time for sports, and I love how you coined that, man. When football starts, sports starts. That's
Yeah.
100% true. And you know, before we kind of get jaded by beating teams or losing to teams, it is this dope. It's this dope like communal moment where it is everybody we're all on one page. just for one moment in the season
Oh
where
yeah,
it's almost
definitely.
like Christmas Eve. Like everybody's like excited to see what we look like, whether you want us to win, whether you want us to lose, whether you hating on us, whether you think we're the best team ever. For
Yeah.
this moment, we're all waiting to see what they have for us throughout the offseason. Now, we could talk about what they did in the offseason and what they didn't do, how they gave us confidence and how they basically took away from some of that confidence. But the truth is that it all plays once the ball rolls out. Once we get that first series from the Niners, there's literally nobody going to be talking about. I wonder how the Niners are going to be with now that Brandon Ayuk. It's like don't nobody give a damn about how they feel. They playing right now. You
Oh
can't
yeah.
talk
So
about
that's
the narrative.
at that point when that kickoff happens, it's all dead. It's all underwater, bro. And now it's a whole new thing going on. Yeah, moving
Mm-hmm.
forward because it's real football. There's no more speculation. There's no more offseason practices. There's none of that. This is the gridiron going down right now. And from
Yeah,
that kickoff, everything that happened over the summer is dead. This is all new,
yeah,
and I'm excited about that because I've been waiting. I've been patiently waiting, and I
yeah.
can't wait because I know Monday night comes. I'm gonna be yelling at the TV like they can hear me.
What are you expecting out of the trenches, man?
Man, when it comes to the trenches on the defensive side,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a little more from Bosa. I want to see Bosa like anchor down and be more of like a complete player, because a lot of the times, man, he sees that handoff, he crashes down the line. That's not really a play that the defensive end should make.
Yeah,
You always gotta
keep
be
contained.
on a swivel with the QB coming out the other side. And
Mm-hmm.
that burned us a lot in the Super Bowl. So I really want to see that out of Bosa, but Bosa's Bosa, so he's great. The
Yeah.
other guys, I just want them to be gap conscious. I don't want them to get out their gaps and trying to do what they think they need to do. Do what you have to do. Don't do nothing
Mm.
extra.
Be where your
You
feet
know
are.
what the scheme is. You know what the stunts are. You know what the base defense is. You know all of that. So stay in your gap and work that way. And also work half the man. Don't try to work the full man, bro. Work half the man. You be straight. And then on the offensive side, I think Puni's gonna be fine. Man, Trent, we'll see what Trent has. I know he's not in shape, so that's gonna be rough playing out of
And
shape,
we
especially the
just
first
like
game
and
against that
this
defensive
like
line.
honestly, the player, honestly, as men of the 3 Bill Club who've played this game at being large dudes, man, we know that there is no 300-pound man missing camp. I don't care what working out you did. I don't care about what trainer
He's
you
gonna be
got.
sucking wind, bro.
You gonna be
He
gassed.
he's gonna be
He don't
after the
have his
first series. It don't
lungs.
matter if they go 3-and-out. It don't matter if they go 3-and-out. He is going to be dead. He's gonna need that
Yes.
oxygen after every series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just started working out, bro. Monday, I didn't go to the gym. I just worked out in my place. So
Mm-hmm.
I did 100 push-ups and something else. I was gassed, and it was
Gas.
it was quick pace. Me and my nephew. I go, you go. I go, you go. 10, 10, 10, 10 with curls. It was a superset.
Because
Boom, 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 boom.
what do we know,
I'm
player?
not pushing around no dude my size.
Come on, hey player. What do we
So if
know?
I get out on the field and I'm pushing out a dude my size, you out of your mind.
It's
Two plays,
hey,
I'm dead. It don't
player,
matter.
player. What do we know, man? It ain't. You can move weight all you want, sitting on your butt with Jeezy playing in the
Exactly.
background, right? But
Exactly.
if you can't
Exactly.
move that weight when you tired, then you no good. You got to be able to move that weight
No, you're
and
dead in the
push that
water.
stuff while
You are
you
dead
got
weight,
wind.
bro. All you doing is
Yes.
being in the way. All you
Yeah.
doing is being in the way because them feet ain't moving. The feet ain't moving. You're about to
Yeah.
start leaning. You're about to start holding. That's when the
Yeah.
penalties come. You
You
know.
start waist bending.
So it's gonna be rough for Trent for a couple weeks,
Yeah. Yeah, and
but
I
he's a Hall
think
of
it's going to
Famer and
be
he'll get
I
it.
I agree with that. I think that it's going to take Trent a month. It's going to take him a month. Like 4 weeks. 4 weeks of playing in and out. He's going to have to they're going to have to do a lot of outside zone to his side to get him running. They're gonna have to do a lot of down blocking on his side to get him crashing. Just getting his body used to running into other people, right? Because you know what's scary about Trent that we can't say about Brandon is that you can't simulate anything that Trent is gonna see in practice when it comes Monday
No,
night. You can't simulate any of that.
no,
So right
no.
now,
Because
even this Trent
as
practicing,
a
he
as a
going through the
lineman, you
motions.
need to get in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's going through the
yeah. As
motions.
a lineman, you need to get in there and you need to move men
Yeah,
in practice, in real practice as a lineman. You need to move men. As a receiver, all you gotta do is go out there and run. For real. You know,
yeah,
you get hit, oh man, it hurt a little bit, but hey, all you gotta do is get out there and run. Run your sprints, get out in the morning, run your miles, you're fine. But as a
finish.
as a lineman, bro, you need to get out there and hit other men because
Yeah.
that's the only thing that conditions you for the season.
And you know what else you need to do?
So
You
hey,
need to
he
hit
going he
other
going like
men
you
while
said,
you're
it's gonna be a month.
tired. Yeah, you need to hit other men while you're
Yes.
tired. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it's gonna be about a month, like we agreed upon, and we got to see. And then really, Aaron Banks didn't have a camp. Jake Brindle didn't have a camp.
No, he
Right?
didn't
It's
actually.
gonna be a
He
while for
didn't.
these boys, man.
Burford didn't either.
Burford didn't have a camp, right? So from a lineman standpoint, these guys need to get real reps in front of them. They need to be tired. They need to be pushing, moving a man from point A to point B against his will. You don't get that in practice. You're not going to get that. So
You
for a
don't. You
while,
don't. And then with
we
the scheme and how we lean heavy on the scheme and the run fits and the angles and stuff, bro. Being tired and trying to move another dude, your mind goes,
mm-hmm.
and then you react and you don't even know what you're doing. So I hope we can get out the gates moving fast. That way we can get in and get out. Because if we
Yeah,
score fast, that's better for us.
that's better for us.
But if it's
Thank
them
you.
long 15 play drives, man, it don't matter. It don't matter. Crowd noise, it don't matter, bro. That line's gonna be shot.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something where I'm going to be paying attention to how Kyle calls plays, right? I'm gonna really
Yeah,
see like, all right, are you going? If we running, man, get them dudes on inside and outside zone. Help them out. Don't no body on body, no gap scheme, no duo. Those are advanced physical running schemes where the O line is almost got to ask for that type of stuff where they feel good. But
yeah,
if we're 3 yards in a cloud of dust because we can't run the ball, it's not because the boys can't do it. It's because the play calling isn't understanding the conditioning of where the offense is right now, right? And I'm gonna tell you this
exactly.
right
It's
now:
all
they're
gonna be
pros.
all about angles the first couple of weeks.
Oh, it's all yeah. This is all gonna be finesse, and it's all gonna be finesse. They're not gonna be able to just blow teams off the line of scrimmage. They are not conditioned for that. They haven't done it. So how can we expect them to do that on week
Yeah,
one? They have not done it. So
yeah,
um,
you can't. And the good thing about the offense is that it's a finesse offense masquerading as a power
as
offense.
a power
So
offense,
that's one thing we got
dog,
going for us.
dog,
Because
man.
they know people say all the time, you got the best run. Yeah, it's very schemy. It's very schemy, bro. We ain't lining up man on man and just pushing people around. It's all angles.
Dog, I love you so much, man. I love you. I love your football eye, bro, because you see that this is not really a physical team. They're not physical. Like
Oh,
when
it's
we
not.
get when we get
It's not.
when we get to 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and we going 5 wide, we going aces 2 by 2. Like, forget Kyle. Talk to me, bro. Talk to me. As playing offensive line or playing line, is there certain moments in the game where we feel disrespected if we are not running power during certain situations in the game?
Yeah,
Like, we feel
yeah,
disrespected.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and we're
Bro, especially when it get down in third quarter, fourth quarter, it's a close game, bro.
yeah,
In the Super Bowl. Sorry to keep talking about it. That line should have went to Cobb like, yo, no, we're running the ball.
we're running.
We're
Thank
running the
you,
ball. I don't care who's in front of me. I can be on the field right now. I can be on the field right now. Jones in front of me. I don't care. I'm taking him out
We're
because I
running
have
the
to.
ball.
We got to get this 1 yard, 2 yards. We going at it,
There's
but
not an offensive
he never
line.
called it that way.
There's not an offensive line on planet Earth that doesn't believe that they can get 1 yard. Like, that's insulting.
Exactly.
We getting 1 yard. I don't care who they putting in the gap. We
Exactly.
getting 1 yard. We're getting 1 yard.
Exactly.
So,
And it don't matter what offensive lineman specifically is out there.
yeah.
They see that, they hear the play or whatever. Oh yeah, we got this.
Yeah.
That's what's
So,
going through my head. I don't care if I'm the 5th dude off the bench. I got this.
hey, bro. Hey, player. Please keep calling back, man. You my spirit animal, bro. Like, the
I got
physicality
you,
of the
bro.
game is exactly what we need here. And we can't see it right away. I'm so glad that you brought this up. We're not going to see a lot of physicality from us right away. It's going to be a month until these boys feel good to
Yeah.
put together 4 quarters of a hard run game, of a hard
And then,
football game.
hey, in that month, I just looked at the schedule, but in that month, after that month, that's kind of when the gauntlet starts, bro. We
Yeah,
got the Seahawks, then we got the Chiefs, then we got the Cowboys, bro. Oh
yeah.
my God. If
It's
people
coming
don't
up.
think that's a gauntlet, that's going to be physical.
Yo,
Oh my God, that's going to be
hey,
physical.
man, keep calling back, bro. This was an
Oh yeah,
amazing
hey,
call.
before you let me
Talk to me.
go,
Talk to me.
I'm going to be in Tampa too. I'm going to be in Tampa for that game.
We meeting up. Yo, you got my Twitter?
Yeah.
DM me
I
on
gotta
Twitter.
make a Twitter, bro. I don't even use the one I got.
Man.
I'll make a Twitter and I'll hit you up.
Make a Twitter, hit me up. We gonna
Yeah.
link up. We gonna have a blast, bro. We gonna do it, bro.
Oh, for sure.
All right, bro. I'll holler
For
at you,
sure.
bro.
We'll be out there. Me and my boy, I told my boys about the stream and they watch it like, yo, he gonna be in Tampa. We gotta go. I was like, yeah, we already gonna be there. So I was like,
It's
next
gonna be
stream, I'm
lit.
gonna hit him up. I'm gonna tell him what's up.
We
Yes,
gonna
sir.
be lit. We gonna turn up too. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I already got my fit too. They gonna be mad at me in that stadium. I'm telling you. They
What
gonna
you
be
got? What you
upset at
gonna be
me.
wearing?
Hey, I can't say nothing, but when you see it, you can be like, "This man is crazy."
All right. Leave it at that because I want to be surprised, bro. Call back, man. Hey, if you get a chance, we're gonna be doing a pregame show on Monday with Tom for the Faithful Review, and I'm gonna do live watch game parties too. So if you get a chance to just pop in on YouTube, give me some love, bro.
I will, man.
I'll holler at you, bro.
I will. All right, brother. You be good.
All right, y'all. Hey, it's over. No more preseason talk. No more off-season talk. You guys, we're finally here. Let's bring the room together right now. Let's huddle up right here. Guys, we're going to be one voice, one sound, one heart, and one mind going into Monday night. We have made it through the offseason. The draft don't matter anymore. Injuries are what they are. Whoever's ready to leave on the train, pack your shit and get on because we're leaving on Monday night. And if you ain't there to get on the train, it's over. You're left behind. Guys, I love you guys. I'm going to have a call in. I'm going to have the Faithful Review on Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. For me and Tom, we're going to do a pregame show for the Faithful Review on Monday. And then we have the live watch game party during the show. During the game, I'm going to be doing this every game during the season. And hey, man, you guys did an amazing job rocking with me throughout the summer. I had some personal things that happened to me throughout the summer as well. And we all stuck together. I was really afraid that at some point I wasn't going to be able to finish my goals that I wanted to put forth on the platform. But here we are. Here we are. So, guys, it's the coach. Stay low and keep your feet moving. We're going to need each other this year. See you guys.